So for this section of coaching, we're going to talk about the learn process. And this process is first going to go over a checklist. I know we talked last time about getting student data in order, and we chose to organize that data on a spreadsheet. So some of the things in our checklist that we're going to add to our spreadsheet are going to be student names, their starting point, where they started off, data points along the way, and maybe their end goals. Where do we want them to be at? Does that sound okay?
Yep, sounds great.
Is there anything you would like to add or change to the spreadsheet? Something else you think would be beneficial in the spreadsheet for either you or the kids?
One thing that from last year that I noticed that I want to do differently this year, instead of just their data points as far as like their final score for each lesson, a lot of times they might get 100% on their first attempt. But if they don't get 100%, then I would like to write down how many they missed. And so then when they come back to me to check their second attempt, then they can either get 100% or I'll write down how many they missed the second time. Because that will give them a goal to work towards. Like, how can I be more accurate when I'm doing my hands-on equations lesson? So that I don't have to keep making revisions and keep getting it checked. And it will also help me as a teacher track how accurate they are.
Okay.
And how careful they are in their work.
All right. So for accuracy, I think that's really important too. All right. Would you like for me to model this for you?
Sure.
All right. Let's talk about when we want to do that. Would that be something you'd like to do sooner than later?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. We'll schedule that on our calendars. All right. There's different approaches for this, and we're going to do the classroom without students, and that's mostly because we both teach.
And we're on the same schedule.
Yes, we teach on the same schedule. All right. All right, so now we're going to set a time to implement the practice. When do you think you will start implementing this practice?
I want to start right away.
Okay.
Like within the next week or two, just because we've already started hands-on equations. So I want to make sure that not only do I have the record keeping, but the kids can understand it, and that way they'll already be into goal setting.
All right. Is this spreadsheet something that you're going to do continually?
Yeah, definitely. So every time they do a hands-on equations lesson, then they will update their spreadsheet. And I definitely want to do that with the students in the beginning, so that not only they understand the purpose of it, they understand how to complete it correctly, but also so that we both have an idea of where they are and where they're going with their goals.
Okay. Now, I know with the spreadsheet and the sharing option, do you think that this is something that you'll get the students involved with so that they have a way to see how they're progressing? How do you think you would allow the students to see their goals?
So with doing hands-on equations in 3rd, 4th, and 5th grades, I think it'd be most beneficial to start the 3rd graders on paper with their goal sheets. Just print off the Excel spreadsheet, and so that each student has one. And then maybe like the middle of 4th grade, transition them into actually doing it on a computer, because I think by then they'll not only understand how the spreadsheet works, the goal setting, but then they'll also have kind of those prerequisite digital skills in order to understand Microsoft Excel and use it correctly.
Okay. I think that definitely helping these 3rd graders get their or understand how the spreadsheet works is a great idea. Mid fourth grade, like you said, through fifth grade, sharing that spreadsheet with them so that they have, it gives them a level of responsibility to make sure that they're keeping track with how they're doing and their goals and keeping their goals in mind.
Well, I mean, I also like that they'll have access to it, not just in their binders. So, like, if they lose it, if it gets torn out, whatever, the dog ate it, that won't become an issue. But then they're also learning Microsoft Excel. So it's not just about goal setting. It's also about computer literacy at that point as well.
All right. And as you go on, if there's things that your kids want to add to the spreadsheet, do you think that's something that you would talk to them about?
I think definitely. And I think that they will have some ideas. Maybe they want to make some notes about what was hard, how they overcame it. Maybe just kind of some personal anecdotal notes
I think
about
that's
the
great.
lessons.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. All right. Thank you. Sounds like we got a good plan in place.
You're welcome.
Thank you.